smartest film critic in the world, Cole Smithy.
Hi, this is Cole Smithy with ColeSmithy.com and your guide to what to see and what to avoid at the movies this week. Bernardo Bertolucci's long-awaited return to filmmaking after a decade-long absence is a beautifully photographed and provocative coming-of-age drama in the vein of Bertolucci's La Luna and his last film, The Dreamers. As its title portends, Me and You is an intimate film whose emphasis relies on the connection between its two main characters. The story is about two young people attempting to maintain their individuality and humanity with DIY tools of both impractical and idealistic designs. The labyrinthine basement of a lush Italian apartment building is the claustrophobic setting where 14-year-old Lorenzo, played by Jacopo Almo Antinori, plans to hide out alone for a week rather than attend a school-sponsored snowboarding camp where his mother believes him to be. His mother's close proximity in their upstairs apartment adds a layer of tension to Lorenzo's private diversion. With a small fridge filled with Cokes and junk food, Lorenzo would rather play video games on his laptop in splendid isolation than face the outside world. Jacopo Almo Antinori's uncanny resemblance to a young Malcolm McDowell circa A Clockwork Orange places him as an awkward young man of untold potential. He is an outlier with an unconventional face, patiently working out what his future should be without acknowledging the advice of his elders. Lorenzo puts on a cold front to his shrink. Although young, he knows how to sidestep the predictable flim-flam of authority figures. Insecure, introverted, and smothered by his relationship with his overbearing mother, Lorenzo desperately needs some quality time alone. Accidentally discovered by his 25-year-old heroin-addicted stepsister Olivia, played by Tea Falco, Lorenzo is forced to give up his privacy while her proposed one-night's stay in the basement with him gets extended to fill up the entire week. Romantic tension bristles between the two as the exotically feminine Sonia directly and obliquely challenges Lorenzo's still-forming ideas about females and about the world around him. The story's confined spaces resonate with the empty apartment of Last Tango in Paris, where midlife crisis met with nubile sensual revelation. Here, the alchemy between male and female intentionality is altered to accommodate a youthful but just as immediate need for human connection. Sonia's view of the woman who stole her father away is not as flattering as Lorenzo's perception of his mother. As Sonia goes cold turkey, Lorenzo steps up to care for her, even as his curiosity about her feminine nature is piqued. At 72 and troubled by a health condition that keeps him confined to a wheelchair, the director of such cinematic milestones as The Conformist and 1900 has narrowed his focus but lost none of his passion or optimism. Me and You is Bertolucci's most restrained film. Its nuance of humane thematic tones vibrates in a low hum of deeply personal emotional conflict and physical displacement. It is an enduring character study that eschews cliches in favor of the elemental truths governing how young people mature through the choices they make. Lorenzo and Olivia need one another more than they realize and as much as they intuitively know.
No, ragazza sola, no, 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 stavolta sei un errore.
Bertolucci seals the film with an homage to Francois Truffaut that mirrors the final frame of The 400 Blows. You can sense a glint of youthful promise in Lorenzo's eyes. He doesn't know what the future holds, but he will go there regardless of its dangers and with more insight than ever before. I give this memorable picture an A-. My sleeper pick is Whitey, the United States versus James V. Bulger. And my guilty pleasure pick is Roman Polanski's Venus in Fur. My must-have DVDs are Red River from the Criterion Collection, Paul Bowles' The Cage Door Is Always Open from First Run Features, and Your Inner Fish from PBS.
Glad to see you're born again. Atlantic City, my old friend. Be there when I bet on 10.
Atlantic City is a poignant drama situated neatly between French director Louis Malle's racy American film debut Pretty Baby, made in 1978, and his groundbreaking conversation fest My Dinner with Andre from 1981. An illustrious career in France, working on a wide range of films, from the Cannes and Oscar-winning Jacques Cousteau documentary Le Monde du Silence from 1956, and his daring Miles Davis-scored crime thriller Elevator to the Gallows, to his obscenity law-baiting romantic drama The Lovers from 1958, Malle won over devotees of the French New Wave, even if he was not considered a direct contributor to the movement. Under pressure from financiers to complete a film by the end of 1979, Malle took a suggestion from his girlfriend at the time, Susan Sarandon, to partner with playwright John Gare, The House of Blue Leaves, to adapt Gare's story about societal dislocation, for which Gare would write the screenplay. Crafted around the crumbling Atlantic City of the late 70s, the film opens on the controlled demolition of a faded hotel that takes up an entire city block. A generation of economic prosperity and well-established social mores is disintegrating or being systematically destroyed by corporate interests. Elderly locals eke out a living on bleak streets that have deteriorated from affluence to squalor. Burt Lancaster plays Lou, an aging relic of a fading era. His dignified persona follows the template of the patriarchal characters that Lancaster played in Luchino Visconti's The Leopard and in Bernardo Bertolucci's 1900. Lou is a small-time bookmaker and caretaker of his elderly downstairs neighbor, Grace, played by Kate Reed. Nonetheless, Lou carries himself with an air of distinction. Lou fancies himself as a retired gigolo gangster who once rubbed shoulders with the likes of Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel. With his well-groomed gray hair and mustache, Lou lives in a once opulent apartment building that soon, too, will be demolished. He peeks through the window on his next-door neighbor Sally, played by Susan Sarandon, a Canadian transplant, to observe her nightly cleansing ritual over the kitchen sink. When she isn't attending classes in blackjack dealing under the personalized tutelage of Michel Piccoli's worldly character Joseph, Sally works at a casino oyster bar. Upon returning to her barely furnished apartment, she cuts lemons that she then squeezes over her arms and bare breasts in order to get rid of the fish smell that hangs on her like a curse. The lemons come to represent an unforgettable thematic metaphor of cleansing reversal for both Lou and Sally. Sally's ex-husband Dave has impregnated Chrissy, the hippie chick he left Sally to be with. Having hitchhiked with Chrissy from Canada, Dave takes advantage of a situation to intercept a cocaine deal in Philadelphia. Chrissy and Dave show up at Sally's doorstep looking for a place to stay while he surreptitiously tries to locate a buyer for the stolen coke. A chance meeting puts Lou in Dave's trust and the cocaine in Lou's possession before the drug's proper owners do away with Dave. Enabled by his ability to prepare and unload the coke for wads of cash, Lou reinvents himself as the snappily dressed gangster he always wanted to be. He takes Sally under his wing with an offer to protect her. She sees through his disguise, but takes the bait because, at heart, she appreciates the gesture. Sally also recognizes an opportunity when she sees one.
Will be kept confidential.
France is very nice.
Atlantic City is full of compact social editorializing that elevates its seemingly run-of-the-mill trappings by way of its emotionally dependent characters. The depth of drama lies in how deeply you feel for them. Thanks for watching, and visit ColeSmithy.com for more.
Thank you.